Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
Hello,
What's up?
everyone. Today, our guest will be Marty Hallis. He's Hallis, whatever the fuck. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
you got it right.
Okay,
you
there
got
we
it
go.
right, yeah.
There we go. How are you?
Oh, mate. Fucking Chad. Honestly.
How's summer treating you?
Oh, mate. So it's going alright. How's yours?
Well, it's a lot has happened.
Oh, yeah.
Can't say much
Yeah.
over the podcast, but I can tell you on text. But yeah, no, everything's a lot better now. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's good then. That's good to hear.
Are you going back to college in September?
Yeah, I'm doing motorsport.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what? So hang on, you just didn't like computing anymore?
Mate, I fucked off completely.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Sam kept bothering me to do my her last assignment on the G. Apparently, I didn't pass her first, second, and third, so I just fucked off. I couldn't be bothered. Literally, she kept spamming me on the last day. She was like, "Oh, you better do it quick." And I was like, "You know what? Fuck off." I just messaged Scott and I was like, "Mate, I'm done. I can't be bothered. Just let me go."
Really?
Yeah, literally. I just lost all
my
faith.
God. Did you end up passing?
No.
Oh.
No, because how we had the two exams, I was meant to obviously get level 2 pass in both of them. I got a level 2 pass in one of them, but not the other one, so I didn't get a chance to pass anyway. So I was like, alright, cool, whatever.
Oh my God. Did David pass?
No, because he got the same score as me.
Oh my God, is he not going back neither?
No, he's doing business.
Oh shit, that's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, is he into business?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh fucking hell! So you've done what I've done, and you wasted a year on computing, and then like the next year you're going something else.
Yeah.
That's literally what I did, and then I went to like performing arts, and
yeah,
I was a lot happier on performing arts. I think computing's just, well, first of all, it's one of the most boring ones because you literally sit down and stare at a screen.
Yeah.
And second of all, it's not fun. Like, you think it'll be fun because you hear the words just computing, and then you're like, oh, right, that's going to be like making games and shit. It's none of that.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, you tamper around with one game, not even that sometimes, and maybe like a bit of animation software. That's it. Mostly it's just like, last year we did like Excel, Microsoft Excel, so we did like spreadsheets and shit, and it was the most boring fucking stuff ever. So, but I am honestly so happy to like have left. And I'm not saying to people I'm not saying to people computing's a bad course, like, because it depends how you look at it, because people might go to computing and they might think, right, I'm heavily into computers, like Craig is. He really loves computers. I don't know why, but he's so strange. We used to make this constant joke about him where he used to, because he used to have this fascination with taking apart computers. So we used to joke about the fact that like he'd go to Argos, buy like a massive fucking 50-inch telly, and then like dismantle the whole thing, and that would be like his idea of a Christmas present.
Yeah,
but no, he's actually going back for level 3, isn't he?
Yeah, level 3. Yeah.
What the fuck? What? How about? Do you remember Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis. Yeah.
Did he pass?
I think so, but he's doing. I think he's doing. Oh, what was it? Like photo or something, like photography. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Apparently.
He's doing what? Photography?
Yeah, photography. Yeah.
Well, he's dumber than I am. So he's done it. He's done it for 2 years, and now he's changing.
Yeah, now he's changing. Yeah.
Is he a fucking idiot?
Oh, honestly, I don't know.
Why? Why do that? I mean, I can understand wasting 1 year, and even that's a bit of a stretch. But that's 2 whole years gone down the drain.
Yeah.
That's literally so stupid. Oh my God. Right. Well, just leave them to their own devices. Not much you can do.
Yeah, and then just leave them to
it. Fucking hell. I actually don't know if I'm coming back in September.
Oh, shit.
I might just be doing like work and shit. I've got too much stuff to be doing. I'm so busy all the time, and it's like hectic. Like everything is a job to me, and it shouldn't be like that. I mean, I've got YouTube to think about. I've got I've got the podcast. I've got my actual job. I've got another job, which is like weekends and shit. And then on top of that, I've got to make time with everybody else in my life. And then on top of that, I've got, you know, stuff I do on the side, like hobbies and shit, which like, I tend to dabble in a bit of fishing. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I'll just like to play games with my friends. Like everything to me, even whether it's fun or not, is a job. It's effort. And I hate that about growing up, because it really, you know, you never listen to people here when they tell you, like, you know, say for instance, one of your parents tells you, like, enjoy your years as a child because you're going to hate it when you grow up, and you think, oh, actually, I'm going to enjoy it when I grow up. I can't wait to be an adult. And then you get to that point of past 16 and nothing's fun anymore.
Yeah, it all just goes.
The reality hits you that you know you're paying rent, taxes, like all that fucking shit, you know. And not only that, but you have the stress of like not even knowing how to do it. And then when you do it, you got to keep on top of it. Everything when you're older is just maintaining, and that's just what's so boring about it. Yeah. And, you know, I hate to be depressing and that, but fucking hell.
Yeah, no, it's the truth, yeah.
But I'm, you know, trying to keep on top of everything, and I'm doing an alright job at the minute. I haven't even got my grade back for performing arts. None of us have.
Yeah.
But fucking I'm stressing about that. I'm stressing about certain things that obviously I can't say, but I'll tell you later on. On the podcast. But I'm stressing over that, which is a big thing that's kind of hit me. Again, I'm not going to bang on about it because, you know, people want to know what it is. But fucking hell, life is so stressful. Yeah, honestly. And I think it's worse, and I'm not like trying to make it a competition, but it is genuinely worse for our generation because like it seems so easy in the old days. Like, you look at things and you're like, again, technology wasn't a thing, so people's mental health was way better off than it is now. Fucking hell, you know, everything used to be lower in price wise, pay used to be good. You know, it was just you may as well have just gotten paid to do nothing because everything was just so easy, and now everything's so much harder, and we've grown up with a tougher kind of, you know, like a scarier kind of world that we've grown up with, and it's fucking weird. Like, I actually go to sleep at night sometimes and I think, how long is it before something gets to me that much that I'm just going to give up? Like, that's not me saying I'm going to commit suicide or anything. How long is it before everything takes a toll and I just stop trying? Like, everything is just so weird. But you know, you are the guest, so I want to hear a bit about your life. So what do you do for hobbies?
Well, mostly every Sunday that's been going on so far, I've been watching F1 races, and I don't know what it is. Just F1 is just the passion I've suddenly gained. Like, really? Yeah, like a year ago I was like, I want to be sat on my arse in my office making computer games or something, and then out of nowhere suddenly just switched, and I was like, you know, I want to be an F1 mechanic or just do something like that. So that's the reason why I picked motorsport, because I don't know what it is. It's just suddenly getting interest in it. And I had an assessment, I think last week or the week before, and I was given like tasks, obviously do some electrical, then to work on a go-kart, whatever, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I was like, you know, that's kind of driven me to like just stay with motorsport, and even if I go on to level 1, then I'll go through all the levels, then maybe go uni, and then maybe get a job in F1. So,
oh shit,
yeah.
That's really good. I think F1 is an interesting like hobby or activity or just something to be interested in, because a lot of people are interested in it nowadays. I see every dad watching it. It's like, not even joking. I'm not trying to like segregate like, you know, like genders and shit, but it is mostly men that I see watching it. Like, every dad I see switches it on at some point during the week, you know, on the telly. Like, honestly, it's so weird. But to me, I think cars are interesting. F1, I'm not really into F1, but I'm sure maybe if I watched it, I would like it. But to me, I'm not I'm not heavily a big car guy,
Mm.
but I am like interested in the whole mechanical side of it. I think being a mechanic is quite cool. I think that's
Yeah.
like it's a typical like manly kind of thing to do, isn't it?
Mm.
And I feel like that's why a lot of people like it. But not only that, it's an interesting hobby to have, like making, like customizing everything inside of the vehicle. That must be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because again, I think it's as on top of a hard-working and effortful thing. I think people also like the creative side to being a mechanic,
Mm.
and you know, on top of that, it pays very very good.
Yeah.
So I can understand why people would want to do it, but you know,
Yeah.
any other hobbies apart from mechanic or cars and shit?
Well, obviously just did casual thoughts like gaming, I guess, and just
Yeah,
chilling. Because I don't know what it is, but with gaming, it kind of just helps me just disconnect from the world and just go in my own little world and just focus on what's in the game. Just forget about all the stuff that's going on. Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I want to talk about that as well, because that's pretty interesting, because a lot of people seem to have opposite views to that.
Yeah.
Because people think that escaping from the real world is a bad thing, and a couple of years ago, I would have agreed. I would have said, you know what, escaping from the real world is a bad thing, and I think playing video games for that purpose is a bit bad. But as you grow up, you actually realise how like bad the world is. Like you realise how dangerous and scary it is, and you think to yourself, if that's going to take a toll on anybody, especially when you're young. So if there is an easy way to escape from it all, people are going to do it.
Yeah.
That's ultimately why so many people game, because they have something going on in their lives, and it's easy entertainment. It's sociable. You meet people on it anyways as well. So you know you and your friends in real life can go on and there and meet people from all over the world. Like the country, wherever you are, you can meet other people. And again, it just does take your mind off of it. But again, the argument also does stand that I don't think people should be on it for too long, because again, it does mess with your mind, whether it heightens your mental health issues, because it can do that. And then I think with a lot of people, obviously you have the media saying like, oh, if you play GTA, then your child's gonna, or if your child plays GTA, then they're gonna become like a genocidal maniac.
Yeah.
But like that's not necessarily true, but again, it does, like, I think a bit of that is true to the part where I think the more you play video games, the more you can become addicted and obsessed, because I don't think, again, if you play GT, like, it doesn't automatically mean you're going to become like some sort of serial killer.
Yeah.
But the more you play a game, the more that line between reality and fiction becomes blurred, and then you start to inhabit you start to inherit those kind of aspects into the real world, and you think, you know what, if things are that easy inside a video game, why can't I do it in real life? Everything will go fine. But what they don't realise is that it's all programmed in a game.
Yeah.
Of course, everything's going to go right. In the real world, you go and steal a car, you're probably going to get 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, people like, so I understand where they come from that, but it's not the truth for everyone. I think it really depends on the person, and then I think to decrease any chance of that happening to anyone, I think what you've got to do is you've kind of got to set yourself a certain time structure on that video game. You've got to not play on it for too long, because I guess it doesn't matter if it's multiple video games, but I do agree that if you had a certain amount of time on one video game, then that could maybe mess you up with it. I don't know. Again, it depends on the person.
I also get like the point as well, because there's so many parents out there saying like, oh, sitting there for too long could like damage your eyesight or whatever, or they can make you unhealthy. But you know, it's just some of the people that play games haven't really brought over the point to them as well, saying that, oh, it helps us mentally, we get to socialise with people, and it's kind of like helps us in social situations, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say it really aggravates me. It's just, they put they put a bad name onto gaming and they make us seem like we're just bad people. But then, at the end of the day, that's just how we entertain ourselves and just, get to slip out of the world sometimes and just really have fun with other people and just,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what gaming does. It's an evolution of technology that is beneficial for all parties involved. Like anybody can play a game and anybody can enjoy it. If it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. No one's forcing it to be. But like for the people that do want to escape, or for people that just want to have a bit of fun and let go sometimes, gaming's there for people. It is such an interesting hobby. Like it is such like a daily kind of part. It's such a daily routine of everyone's. When you come home from work, you might be a bit exhausted, so you might lay in bed and play some Call of Duty or whatever you want to play. Which again is just not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, it's just a form of entertainment. I don't know why people think it's corrupting the mind. Like, yeah, if you're a fucking idiot. Like, it's just, like if you're a normal person, you're not going to go on, play 5 minutes of GTA and start stabbing the fuck out your mum. Like, it's not how it works.
Yeah.
If your kid has mental issues, don't let them play the game. That's why there's fucking age ranges on it. And, again, people don't stick to that, but that's why there is. Because it's telling the parent, not, if you don't trust your kid that much to play the game, do not let them.
Yeah.
Don't let them on the game and go, oh, right, okay, it's Rockstar's fault if my kid goes and, like, kills someone. It's not, it's your fault. You let them play the game.
Yeah.
People are stupid.
Yeah.
I really fucking hate, I really hate it when people are like that, because it's so, like, annoying. But, but yeah, again, I do like gaming, and I think I'll always like it, because it's always helped me.
Yeah.
Whether it's entertainment wise or just chill with friends, it's just always kind of been there, and like, I've always had a passion for it.
Yeah.
What else?
There's no point as well. It's like, because people always, like, I get it, because people always say, oh, it's bad for you, but then there's like that toxic community as well that probably makes it a bit worse as well for the children to obviously play it, and that's what I kind of hate. Like, I don't understand why just the whole gaming community just can't be nice to each other and just, play with the rules and just have fun. Like, there's been so much stuff about, like, oh, kid killed himself because some kid called him fat or something, or don't deserve to live, and all that shit. I hate it, honestly.
Yeah, I really do. I agree with you on that one. I think what it is, again, I think if you are, like, I don't know how to explain it. If a bad person, like, is a bad person, then the law, it's different with video games, because if you're a bad person and you want to hurt somebody in real life, it's a lot harder. Whereas if a bad person gets the opportunity on a video game, there's really not much holding them back from being an absolute twat of a person in any community or lobby whatsoever. Like, it's basically essentially being a keyboard warrior. Like, you go on to a lobby, say, Fortnite, for instance, and you're in a party with someone, and you just start yelling racial insults. There's nothing stopping you there. I mean, like, the law, obviously, it's illegal to bully someone, but at the end of the day, not many people report it. So what's stopping someone from doing it online? I mean, again, it is bullying's kind of, it's not very hard to do in real life neither. So imagine how easier than that it is to do on a console. But video games do put stuff. They do put contingencies for that.
Yeah,
they put like muting on, or they'll let you turn, or you can simply just turn the volume down. There's literally so much you can do to stop it now, but people don't, because they like the risk. Either that, or they don't really give a shit in the first place. I think if your mental health is that bad, you've still gone on there and not took any precautions whatsoever, it's your fault as well, because you had the chance to mute them. They're the ones being a cunt, but that you're sensitive, so why didn't you just mute it? Do you know what I mean? I think it's just people definitely like the attention. They like letting people run their mouth about, and then like recording it and then putting it on Twitter and then like pretending to cry about it so that person's life can get ruined. But, that person might have been a cunt, but it doesn't mean that the person recording it or whatever had the right to lie about being offended just because they want a bit of attention.
Yeah.
I really hate that. That's one thing I've never been able to tolerate, and that is genuinely just attention seekers. Like when someone talks to me about like they hate their life, and again, life is hard nowadays. That's fair enough. But what people have got to realise is people will always have it harder, and I've seen people break down over the most stupid shit and then like threaten to do things. And again, I don't think suicide is a joke at all. I think it's a very big problem. It's it's not an I mean, I guess it still kind of is an epidemic where a lot of people are committing suicide when they it's horrible. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I think like when people know they're not going to commit suicide but they say it anyway to get a reaction, and it just kind of reminds you that like there's kids out there in worse country, there's kids out there in Ukraine right now really really struggling for life, let alone what little these people are going through. Like, I don't know, people will do it just because something didn't go their way. Doesn't necessarily mean something bad's happened. People just like to attention seek for the sake of it, to get attention, because they thrive off of that attention. And they'll be like, it won't even bother them. They'll just, it's easy to say on text, "Oh, I hate my life. I want to die." And then people will go like, "Oh no, don't. We all miss you and care about you so much." And the person that said that can be on the other end of the phone smirking or having fun. And just being twisted enough to say that. Like, I'm not saying to people that if your friend says, I'm like suicidal, I'm not saying leave them, because there's a big chance that they might be telling the truth. But it does piss me off nowadays that people say it just because they know they'll get attention, and they just want to feel some worth. But that is not the way to go about it. Any more hobbies?
Well, just to elaborate on the whole suicide bit as well, I just think, I don't know, I don't want to say that suicide is the easy option out. It's just people think that it is an easy option, but then when you obviously commit suicide, more people then suffering, because obviously you left the world behind and there's people that actually cared about you and loved you and all that stuff, and then it's just you just disappear and you make them suffer, and then maybe it could lead to them going into more depression, or just lead them into depression. Your parents as well, like they obviously were there for you the whole how old you were, and then you just disappeared and they couldn't really handle it. So that's why I think, like, I'm glad there's helplines out there and there's just numbers everywhere, and like, if you're feeling whatever, call us and we're there to help and everything. I just don't think people actually utilize all the help that they have been offered. Like, I'm not saying like obviously go do it now. It's just if you think you can handle it by yourself or whatever, then try and fight through, or if not, get help for it. I think that's just best way to go around stuff.
I do. Again, I agree with that majorly, because I think that is I think that's a beautiful way to say it. I think for some people, I don't ever think you should get mad at someone for being suicidal, especially because, like, well, sometimes, again, they could be lying, but you don't know who the liars are at the end of the day, if they're, like, great actors or whatever. But I believe you shouldn't get mad at them, because for some people, it genuinely does feel like it's the only way. Like, I've been in that situation before, not where I've felt suicidal, but where I've just felt that there's no way out. And I've just kind of said to myself, like, what is going to happen now? My life is going to be this shit. But I've realised that's just what they call a bad day. Some days you can get days more horrific than others, but then the next day the sun will be a bit brighter, your mood will be a bit happier, the other people around you will be a bit happier, and then you'll think to yourself, why the fuck was I thinking that last night? You know, and people who commit suicide and hurt people like that, hurt themselves and hurt other people, they've done that because of a bad day or a bad time, and it doesn't last forever. Do you know what I mean? Things do get better, but the thing is, when you're in that moment, you don't think it's gonna. You always think it's always going to be like this. I don't know why the brain does that to people. It's really strange how that works. I think it's always weird when people, you know, tell themselves it's never going to be a bit better, because deep down you know it is.
Yeah.
But you don't want to hear that. You're too sad to want to be happy, so you don't tell yourself that. You just believe that it's never going to get better, and that really is horrible. And I feel, you know, losing someone to suicide is that must feel so horrible, because they didn't, you know, they had a choice, knowing that person had a choice, but they chose to leave you. That must feel vile, and I can't imagine how that must feel. I've known people that have gone through, I've never known anyone to have committed suicide, but I've known people that know people that are like, I've known people whose girlfriend have committed suicide, or whose friend have committed suicide, and I'm just thinking, like, you know, they loved you so much, and now I'm having to support them because you've left them. You've left them because you had a choice. And again, you shouldn't get angry at someone, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that have suffered the most, because they have, you know, lost every opportunity in their life.
Yeah.
And I think when people say the loved ones are the ones that suffer the most, it is the person who's committed suicide. Because if you're young and you've committed suicide, you've given up every single opportunity that was going to come your way.
Yeah.
You have actually suffered. Just because you're not feeling it because you're gone doesn't mean that you haven't suffered more than anyone else. You have, and people do that to themselves anyway. And that will always confuse me, because everybody gets good things. Fucking hell, there's sick people out there that, you know, go around, you know, raping and killing, and they get beautiful opportunities on a silver platter, you know. And anybody can get a good opportunity. They've just got to be patient.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. And again, I feel a lot of people do commit suicide as well because they can't talk about it, and that's a big problem in our society. You know, not being able to talk about it, whether it's because people don't want to hear it, or you don't want to tell people, or whatever. That, again, that's a horrible feeling, keeping it to yourself, and that's why men's mental health is such a big thing, because, you know, men have been kind of brought up in a society where you've got to man up. That is literally a phrase.
Yeah, I hate that so much.
It's a phrase,
honestly.
Man up. That whole thing shatters your whole mindset, because when someone tells you to man up, you feel like if you cry, you're a disappointment, you're a failure, and you can't do it. And that's not fair on anybody, because just because we've been brought up like that doesn't mean that we've got to be like that. Doesn't mean we've got to continue. We are all about evolution. So why on earth should we stay in the past and, you know, quote unquote, man up? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And people, you know, admittedly, men's mental health is looked down upon a lot. You know, people's, you know, there will be different, you know, there'll be like women out there that will be like, oh yeah, pray for mental, or like men's mental health, you know, and they'll say all that. But, you know, some of them won't even mean it. Some of them will just say it because it's, you know, they think it's trendy or fucking whatever like that.
Yeah.
Like, people don't genuinely think much about men's mental health because they don't think it, you know, matters all that much. They think, oh, well, we get listened to, so it doesn't really matter if they get listened to or not. They think that we can handle it to the point where we won't commit suicide, or we won't do anything like that because we're too manned up. But it doesn't make any fucking sense. Our brains are all the same. You know, we can be a bit like, we can feel upset. You know, we have the right to feel upset, because things can, you know, be as, we can feel as pressured as other people. You know, it's just people don't understand. Certain people don't understand, because again, a lot of men do get listened to, but it depends on the people that you know. It, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that all women don't care about men's mental health, because a lot of people do, but a lot also don't, and that is a big problem. And we do need to express it a bit more because, again, suicide is one of the biggest killers out there today, and it's just it's vile that people, you know, like those final thoughts that people must have before they commit suicide, like no one cares about me. That must feel such a horrible thing to go before you die. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I died, I'd want to be surrounded by all the family I could have there and feel, you know, like loved before I go. Whereas if you're about to commit suicide thinking that nobody cares for you, that must feel like one of the most unbearable feelings ever.
Yeah, I just think that like your mind just basically tricks you into kind of thinking, oh, there's nobody there for you, but truly you know that there are like a million, 1,000 people that you know, and we do care about you. We just, you know, you just don't want to listen because how you're obviously feeling in that moment, and yeah, it is just truly heartbreaking. And also, with the men's suicide, like when I often see the suicide rate of like males each year, it does honestly just break my heart because there's so many men that could have had a really good opportunity. They could have had like, you know, they maybe had a great family on their side and they were there to support them, but they just, you know, their mind just makes them think actually there's just no one there and just no hope for you anymore. And yeah, it is. I think like I forgot. Forgot to say I think men's mental health should be looked up on a more like than it already is now. Because obviously, yeah, we should all care about each other, and I guess, you know, females have their own opinion, we have our own opinion as well. But I just think that we should all, like, you know, just come together and just like, actually just kind of work and maybe like decrease the amount of suicides that happened each year, and then, you know, then the earth might be like a little bit brighter and the communities could, you know, just feel a bit better with everything that's going on as well. And yeah, the whole Ukraine situation, I think, is also messed up because like there's so many families just had a good life, and then, you know, the whole just Russian thing happened, and that must have like attacked their mental health really badly, and yeah, they must probably feel absolute shit. And yeah, I don't blame them for it because they did literally nothing wrong and just decided to do it. And yeah, there's so many people just trying to get away from it, and there's just other countries just doesn't want to allow them to come in or whatever. And I just think it's fucked, honestly.
Yeah, I've thought about that, and it really does break my heart that there's not much I can do as a person. If I had my own place and I had the room, I would, you know, let like, you know, a couple of refugees in because it's the least I can do.
Yeah.
If I could sit, you know, if I had a chance to sit down with Putin and you know, literally knock some sense into him and say like, just stop. There's no point with bloodshed. Does nothing. Like, I would do it. But again, I'm a nobody in Putin's eyes. Like, no one is going to, you know, he's not going to listen to world leaders, let alone me. So that I can't do anything but that. And it does break my heart to know that there are people out there, because my living situation right now, I feel safe at home. So it's weird because everybody should feel safe in their own home, not have to worry about having it bombed or broken into or shot up, and then having to move to a different country, split apart from your families, and then on top of that feel like you're selfish because you've you know, brought all this trouble to someone's doorstep. You felt like you've intruded in their lives, even though they've let you in. You're always going to feel like you're not welcome because you have just randomly become a problem to them. Even if you're not, you're going to feel like that because, again, it's just common decency to feel like you're intruding on someone's life when you stay at someone's house. So they've got all that to worry about, and that to me, that's horrible. That's really, really horrible. Like, that's their own country where they felt safe and happy, and next thing you know, in the click of a finger, everything goes wrong like that. Like, everything just turns. You know, next thing you know, you're hiding in subway tunnels, waiting for the next, you know, sirens to end, it's just heartbreaking, especially for like little kids who have no idea what's happening. They're scared shitless. They have no grasp of the situation that they're in because they're not mentally mature enough to understand it. They can't comprehend it because they're too young. So it's 10 times harder for a kid because you have no idea what's happening. So you're there shitting your pants, like not knowing what to do or what you can do or what's going to happen. And it's honestly, that's really, really, really fucking angers me.
Yeah, I think as well how it's just how countries kind of name all the families kind of run away. Like, I just think that immigrants is just a fucked word, like, to describe other people. It's just, I wouldn't count them as, like, how they say, oh, dirty immigrants or not. Just trying to move away to get a better life.
Yeah.
And obviously with the whole Ukraine situation, they can't really do nothing about it. And I think, it's from my point of view, because I'm also foreign, I'm from Europe as well.
Yeah.
And it's just how always people class me as, oh, you're an immigrant, you're stealing our jobs and shit. Well, we don't. We just want to move to a different place, start a new life, and just be happier. Because I know that, you know, I wouldn't get raided or something. I just wouldn't get, you know, racially abused or something. Or just like, so it's just, you know, I just think it's horrible to just describe people just trying to start a new life from a different country.
Again, I agree with that a lot, and I really think it's an excuse for, you know, racist people to make a big deal out of something that doesn't need to be made out of. Because at the end of the day, and this is all I fucking hear from people in pubs or whatever, they're not happy with anything. I've known people to be like, oh, you know, fucking immigrants coming over here stealing our jobs, and then I'll hear them say the other week, oh yeah, fucking immigrants coming over here and not working. Who do they think they are? Make your mind up. It's obviously not the fact about the jobs. You just don't like them coming over here because you're a bigot. You know, that's literally what it is. It's an excuse to be a twat. It is, you know, you don't actually care about what jobs they have. You just don't like them over here. That really does piss me off, because I could understand if, you know, someone was maybe like angry because someone, you know, has moved to your country and they've just chosen not to work, because again, I think, you know, that could be classed as liberty taking. But if someone from another country is coming over here and they're working and, you know, they're living a happy life, what is the issue?
Yeah.
There is no issue with that. We're all fucking just people. As long as, that they're coming, as long as they're not like coming over here and causing trouble. What is the problem? You know, and again, a lot of people would come to England because we have got NHS. That is literally one of the biggest reasons people move over here. And, how could you really blame them? If you had to pay here to have x-rays and fucking, shit like that, but you didn't in America, I could imagine the fucking population of England would go down like 30%. That's not even me like exaggerating neither. The numbers would drop by a fucking lot. Like the margins would it would be crazy, it'd be mental. Because again, there's so many benefits to living here. So why on earth would you blame someone for moving here? But again, you realise, oh wait, they don't actually have a problem with anything. They're just racist.
Yeah, that's just pure
because people say that just as an excuse, so people don't call them racist. That's why people use those excuses. So people will go, "Oh, they're not racist. They just, have a point." But they don't have a point because they'll be switching. They'll be changing their minds.
Yeah,
they don't like it over here. They don't like it when foreign people come here and work, and they don't like it when they don't work. So what make your mind up? Yeah, it really. Oh, people who just complain about everything, they're just fucking whingers. I think they're the real problems of this country. The people that I think the people that just whinge and moan about everything, and then that impacts someone else's life because you're sat there trying to have a good time. Someone comes in and moans about stuff that doesn't even matter. That just puts you in a bad mood. And I really, really can't fucking stand when people just make a deal out of something that doesn't even make sense. Like the fucking I saw that whole debate on Twitter, and again this is like irrelevant from like the whole immigrant thing. But but to say, for instance, people making an issue out of stuff that doesn't matter. I saw the whole debate on Twitter where it was like, oh, humping in or like teabagging in video games is sexual assault. No, it's not.
Yeah.
That doesn't. If you genuinely feel violated because you've just been teabagged in, COD, and you go and cry about it, then you're obviously fucking deluded. You're just a fucking idiot from the get-go. It's just, if someone comes on and starts sexually harassing you over voice chat, that's fair enough. But teabagging, that's not even the same thing. That's, but again, we was on the immigrant thing. I was just I was using that as an example. People will literally do anything to get the slightest bit of attention, because that's what this world is. They just whinge and moan and just do whatever to make people start talking about stuff that doesn't even need to be talked about.
Yeah. I think it's a lot worse when people also get picked on it in public and there's other people to watch it, they record it, post on social media, and oh my god, it just it pisses me off so much. They're literally just going on with their day. They're literally, I don't know, probably gone to go shop for their family, whatever. And then, out of nowhere, just get picked on for, I don't know, being from Pakistan, whatever, or being from that country. And it's just, honestly. It's just stupid. I don't get why people just can't get treated equally. It's like, I don't want to sound racist, but it's like the black and white people. Black people are literally just the same as white people, but they just get treated differently because of the colour of their skin. I don't get it why.
I get you. I feel like, it's just, I don't even know where to start. It really does piss me off. I think because... let me kind of put it in this example. So I think, again, everybody is just they're people at the end of the day, no matter what, ethnicity or nationality or gender, whatever. You're a person. You have equal rights to everyone else just because your skin color or your preference is different. Who gives a shit? As long as it's not illegal. Who actually cares? If you're getting bothered about someone's race, then you're the one with the problem. It's no one else. And I definitely think that hate crime. I think you should get a lot longer in prison for hate crime because, again, it would just stop a lot more people from saying it. But hate crime nowadays, you get let off piss easy. That's why so many people say it. Whereas if they upped the crime. Or no, if they up the time for the the amount of time that you went in for doing it, not many people would do it. And again, people shouldn't want to do it in the first place, granted, but there is stuff that we can be doing to make people feel safer. But again, the whole fucking justice system is fucking looped. It's mental. It's corrupted. But fucking hell, I think if you're in your own country and you're having fun, have fun, whatever. But if someone is in your country, and you're not happy because someone from a different country is there, or someone with a different skin color, why get angry? It's not fucking. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you get mad because someone looks different? It doesn't make any fucking sense. As long as they're not doing anything illegal or hurting you, what the fuck does it matter?
Yeah.
And again, a lot of it is based on stereotypes. So a lot of people may not feel entirely happy because they think, they're black, they're from the hood, or, using that as an example. That's fucking mental. It really is mental. You don't feel safe with someone because you've assumed something. If they've pulled out a weapon, fair enough, be scared. Don't be scared because they're, a different race. It's bad to stereotype. We was literally taught in school to not stereotype, and people do it anyway. And we just live in such a fucked society. And again, we are a lot better than we used to be. And we have got a long while to go yet, which is sad. It is sad. But one day, and I'm faithful, or I have faith that one day we will live in a carefree, or not carefree, but I think we'll just live in a world one day where we'll have bigger issues to worry about than the colour of someone's skin. because again, most of it is just because the way people were brought up when they were younger, or people just being, people just think it's funny. Sometimes people don't even do it because they're racist. Sometimes they just do it because they think it's a laugh, which again, it's just as bad because you're still making that person feel like shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care because I'm English and I'm white. If someone, made fun of me for being so, I wouldn't care because I haven't suffered years of being segregated because of that.
Yeah.
If someone came up to me like, "Oh, you're a white dickhead," I'm not going to go home and cry because again, I'm lucky enough to have privilege, and it's so upsetting that people don't get privileges because of background and fucking, it's just stuff like that. It is honestly heartbreaking because people get killed because of something they can't physically help. It's so fucking mental. And I saw the whole debate where people were like, what was it? I saw the whole debate where people was like, oh, that police officer that killed George Floyd was actually a hero because George was a bad guy. And I read about some of the stuff that George did, and yes, he wasn't the best individual. But again, does that mean he deserves to die for his skin colour? No.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. No one deserves to die. And that is genuinely my belief. Like, if you've done something bad, I don't think someone should kill you because, like, if someone's a murderer, and then you kill that murderer because they're a murderer, there's actually no less murderers in the world. Because you've just added a new one. It doesn't, people are so fucking thick, and I'm fed up of people hearing, oh yeah, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter that they died because they were a so and so. People think it just decreases the value or the meaning of it, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
it still makes the world a fucked up place.
Yeah, because in a way, I'm also kind of glad that they made the whole Black Lives Matter movement, because it kind of just shows there's still hope in society nowadays, and there's other people that actually care about the skin color and everything. So I'm actually it kind of lightens up my mood, because I actually know there are people that just do care about others, but then there's just the other people on the other side are just complete dickheads and just ignore it all and oh yeah, Black Lives Matter. They should just rot in hell. In my own opinion, they should rot in hell. Just not deserve to be here.
Yeah,
they honestly make everything look so much worse, but they just want to be equal and just be the same as everyone else.
No, I do get with that. I do understand that. And one thing I do hate is, I think, and I was actually having an argument about this the other day. People, and I've noticed this in the world that we live in. Murderers and that. They aren't even put in a serious category anymore. Like, I've seen people be okay, more than happy to sit there, talking to someone who's killed someone or something like that. But then they refuse to sit with someone that's raped someone or something like that.
Yeah.
And they'll make it sound like raping's the worst one. But in my opinion, it's just as bad as each other, because you've actually ruined someone's life.
Yeah.
But I genuinely have heard people say before, oh, it's alright, they've only killed someone or something like that. That's fucked up, though.
Yeah. I still can't believe the whole situation in Boston that happened last week or whatever, that a 9-year-old girl got stabbed. Why?
Oh,
she was 9 years old. She was literally new into the world and just exploring everything. Why?
Honestly,
I'm guessing she didn't do anything wrong. I don't really know. I haven't really done any research, but still, she was only 9 years old now. I
think it's worse. It's definitely worse when it's a kid, because, again, you don't understand the severity of something that's just happened. At 9, you don't even get the concept of death, really. Yeah. You hear the word, but you never really understand what it means. And at that age, you're naive, so you think, oh, it's all right if I die, because, I might be going to heaven. But and I'm not going to shit on any religion here, but in my opinion, I don't. I wouldn't say I'm an atheist. I just don't believe in heaven or hell. So I just feel like for someone to believe they're going to go somewhere when they might not, especially at that age where you don't get the full comprehension of anything, is very, 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 very upsetting. And again, it's definitely worse when it's a kid, because what the fuck can a kid have done to have deserved that? Do you know what I mean? You're not even fully. You've not 9, hadn't even hit puberty, and she's lost her life because someone was sick enough to act the way they did, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. And it really does get you mad, because it's just fucking, just honestly fucking really pissing me off. But the thing is, people will increase the value of it. People will only get mad because it's a kid. People will, like, if say for like they'd killed an adult, not as many people would care. And again, I think I do believe, and I stand by the fact that it's worse that it's a kid, but it doesn't mean less people should care. Or no, it doesn't mean more people should care that it's a kid, because at the end of the day, an adult doesn't deserve to lose their life as much as the kid does. Really, the kid might be more innocent, but they still have an equal right to life.
Yeah.
And again, backing up what I said before, people will genuinely decrease. People will separate murderers from rapists and paedophiles, and they'll actually put it in like a category that's below that thing. And there was this thing on Facebook that I saw the other week, and it was of a paedophile being killed. They'd been killed, and then loads of people have commented, "Oh, good, that's the best thing that could have happened." And I'm there reading it, right? And I've already talked about this in podcasts before, but I'll bring it up again. I sat there reading it, and again, it does remind me of a poem that I read when I was back in secondary. So I read this poem in school, and I can't remember what it was like, but it was like, I could be fucking wrong here, but this man's worst enemy had died, and this guy was very, very, very happy about it. And then this thing, I don't know whether it was a tree or not, started growing in his backyard. And it had, I can't remember what it had on it, but it had something on it to remind the person of the person that had died. And it scarred him so much that he started to feel guilty that he'd been happy about the person that had died. And that's what the poem was trying to tell you. It's basically trying to say, if you're happy about someone losing their life, no matter what they've done, you're just as inhumane as they are. And I actually agree with that. I really do agree with that. I think rapists, murderers, and people like that, they are really sick people in the head, and they are twisted, and they deserve to be punished. But there's a number of reasons why they shouldn't be killed. One, because when they're dead, they don't get to suffer anything. They're gone. They're done. They're done. Nothing can happen to them anymore. That's it. Whereas if you keep someone alive, they've got to live with the disappointment of people, the disapproval. They've got to live with they've just got to live in prison knowing that nobody cares for them. And that is, for me, I think that's worse than death. I think, if you kill someone, you're putting them out of the misery. But that's not the reason why I think that people shouldn't be killed, or people shouldn't be happy that someone should die, because I think the whole point of humanity is caring about, life no matter what. I'm not saying people should care for the rapist or the pedophile or whatever. All I'm saying is you shouldn't be happy that someone has lost their life, because it's a really fucked up thing to be doing. And I think if you're happy, I'm not saying you should care, but when it comes to the point where people are actually happy that someone has died, you're just as inhumane as they are, and you're on the same path that they had been on. And I will always stand by that. And I know people have different opinions. I'm not shitting on anybody's opinion here. I'm just saying, personally, it's very, very fucking inhumane to be happy that someone's died, no matter what they've done, because it ruins the person that you are. And as a person, would you really want to ruin the goodness of yourself because of someone else who doesn't deserve anything good. That's the way I see it, and I think that's the way I'll always see it, because I just believe that no one should be happy if someone's died.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything you got to say about any of that?
Honestly, I think you just said everything that I was basically going to say, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that there is genuinely people that believe the same as me. Again, I want to stress this for people that are probably, like, misinterpreting what I've said. I'm not saying people should be forgiven. I'm just saying that they shouldn't be killed, because it just doesn't solve anything. It really doesn't. It just makes us as a society worse than they are. But it just doesn't make sense. But anyway, on a brighter topic, I was going to talk to you about NFTs.
Yeah.
So, do you have any experience in NFTs?
No.
No.
But I've been wanting to get into it, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is there a way for you to tell me what an NFT is? Because I just know the gist of it. I know it's a form of art, full of encrypted kind of information. Kinda. That's kind of what I know.
Well, obviously, I'm pretty sure it is true, but I'm pretty sure that the short name for NFT is non-fundable token or something like that, or something along those lines. And for me, how I view it is just you pay money for a picture, and that you just get to keep it, and then keep it for like a couple of years, and then maybe it'll get up in price and that. And the one point that this YouTuber / streamer that I watch is Dark Viper AU. He actually spoke about NFTs and what's his opinion on it, and he kind of stated that like an NFT is basically just a URL with just you get to own it, and then let's say you didn't have enough security on your computer or something, or your phone, and maybe a hacker can get into your system, whatever, and you can edit that URL, and then I don't know, can maybe just put a picture on a tree on it or something, and then that obviously you've lost all the value in that NFT, and then you just kind of like you're stuck and you don't know what to do. So I don't know, like some people use NFTs as an advantage to earn money in a way, or just to own it to like look cool, whatever. And I don't blame them. It's an NFT. They're really popular at the moment, and I was thinking about owning one as well. But there's kind of just like this like advantage and disadvantage to it. It's like you're honestly gonna you own an NFT, you've got a lot of money, whatever, and you might sell it in a couple of years and get a lot of money back. But then the disadvantage as well is that obviously if you have it, then how are you going to know it's going to obviously decrease in price? And then when you're just going to basically own an NFT they've paid like thousands of pounds for, and you just got it there, it's just completely useless to you. So
I was laughing because it's funny when you say there's disadvantages to it, because the biggest disadvantage there is for people who aren't recognised buying an NFT is you have to donate an arm and a leg and 4 kidneys to get one.
Literally.
They are so expensive, it's unreal. I'm pretty sure. How much did Mike Tyson spend on one? Was it above $1 million?
I think it was more than that. It was like 10 something million. I know it's stupid. Like,
Why though?
Yeah, I don't know. I think my opinion might be wrong, and I do apologise if it is, but that's just what I kind of interpret it as. There's obviously, heard of Logan Paul. He's on like that monkey or whatever, and he's paid like 2-3 million for it. I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he
like
Bored Ape or something.
Yeah, the Bored Ape stuff.
Yeah, that's a big NFT, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the band that I listen to, it's Avenged Sevenfold. I don't know if anyone knows it, but they've released their own NFTs as well, and it kind of like, but how they've done it is if you buy one, you can get rewards for it. So they kind of do like, if you buy one, then you might have a chance of meeting them, whatever, or spending a day with them in New York or something. I find that quite cool. So,
right.
Yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you buy one, you kind of get a reward for it, and that's kind of why I was thinking of getting one. Like, the cheapest one I've seen that they sell is just only like, I don't know, about £99 or something, and you get maybe a ticket to the next show maybe, or you get to go backstage with them or all that. So I think that's why I think NFTs are good. But then, yeah, there's obviously the Bored Ape stuff, and that just goes into a whole different category that I don't really look into. So
No, that's good. Actually, I think that's a very clever thing to do because it's not too much, and you get a lot of you get a lot of bang for your buck.
yeah,
Because, again, you're not wasting stupid amount of money on something that might even be took off of you. I think the concept of an NFT is cool, but again, I think you'd have to put so much effort into making them and kind of maintaining that profit of it.
yeah,
It would again feel like more of a job than actually enjoying that NFT, and that's why I could never get into it. I think the whole thing with crypto is so good,
yeah,
but then again, I saw this statistic which I thought was quite funny. It's the chances of a non-psychopath doing crypto is very low,
yeah,
which basically says that most people doing crypto are psychopaths. And
yeah,
I thought that was very funny. But crypto's never been something that interested me at all because you're not necessarily making a lot of money. You're playing around with figures, and you can't really do much with it. When you want to, you only get the money when you don't want to, and even then you could lose so much just in a nanosecond.
yeah,
That's all it takes to lose everything, depending on what you put into it. And that, to me, again, is so fucking bizarre that you can put all your money into something and then it's gone just like that.
yeah.
And that's so weird. And again, that's why I'd never fuck around with it because why would I want that?
Yeah.
I want my money.
Yeah, because I don't know if you heard with the whole like when KSI obviously put like shit ton of money into Bitcoin, whatever, like Dogecoin, and lost 3 million in a matter of like days. That's the reason why I don't think crypto. I mean, if you want to, like I said before, if you want to make money, then yeah, go for it. But then obviously if the whole market goes down, then there's a whole crisis, people go insane, and then they start panicking because they've invested so much money into it, and literally just in a matter of a second it's just gone completely and you can't get it back. So I think like I meant to say crypto is like basically like gambling. Like you have to make sure that the market stays in the right area so you keep gaining money, but then if it goes down you sell all your stock and everything, and then there you go. And you have money to just wait till it goes back up again and invest all the money into that stock. So I don't know. I don't really think that if I tried anything with crypto, I don't think I'd end up well. But, it's just having a really good understanding in it kind of like supports you into like thinking, oh yeah, sure. Put, I don't know, $1,000 into Tesla stocks, then, give it a month or two and you'll probably have like 170k or something. I don't know. It's just an example, but yeah, I just think if people find it interesting and they know how to work it, then, I'm not stopping you or just thinking, oh, don't do it. It's just, if you think you can do well and that stuff is quite promising and then you'll probably earn a lot of money, then yeah, I think, it's probably a hobby or something, or just a way to earn a lot of money.
I never actually thought about it with the whole gambling thing. I don't know why I've only just realised, thanks to you.
Yeah.
That's actually a very good way to put it. It is technically a form of gambling, but I think with NFTs, I think it's worse because you could lose everything.
Yeah.
In that quick. Whereas when you're gambling IRL, you tend to put a bit more thought into it, and you can be a bit controlling with it because again, most people gamble obviously with cash, so you get some sort of restriction there. But as soon as you're on a computer, you could put your whole allowance / paycheck into that. There's nothing stopping you. Your brain can just click like that, and you could regret it in a second.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say is, I think with NFTs, you definitely have to be gifted.
Yeah.
I think to get the hang of it and to be good at it, you definitely have to be gifted. I don't even think you have to be clever. You just have to be extremely lucky or gifted with it. I think, if you know what you're doing, fair enough. it's fucking crazy that you can do that and keep maintaining it for a good structure of time. For me, I'm not clever enough to ever be good on NFTs. I don't even think fucking Einstein, if he was in this generation, I don't even think he'd last on an NFT, because it doesn't matter how smart you are. You have to be a different kind of smart for NFTs. You have to be crypto clever.
Yeah.
That can be a word. You're crypto clever. You know, you have to be clever at what you know online and the stock markets and shit like that. You have to know with whether it's NFTs or crypto, you need to know what you're doing, because if you don't, more than likely you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, you've lost all your money, you're homeless on the streets, boom. But if you know what you're doing, go for it. No one's discouraging you for knowing what you're doing and then wanting to do so. And again, we're not telling anybody not to do it. We're just saying, please be very, very careful, because the only reason that KSI was okay when he lost that large sum of money is because he's got a lot of money. If you are a family man and you've got kids to look after, please have a bit of fucking common sense and don't do an NFT, or don't do crypto, please. Don't, feed your kids. Don't put it into Dogecoin. But I just hope people don't, throw everything away for something that might not even be good.
Yeah.
Apart from that, what else did I want to talk about? There was a few things.
Sure.
Oh, fucking hell. How old are you?
I'm 17.
Right. When are you 18?
In April. 17.
April. Right. What are you planning to do once you're 18?
I don't want to think about it. It's just it's a scary thing for me, I guess.
Trust me, I'm 18 in 19 days.
Yeah.
I'm fucking shitting myself. I've never been scared for anything else, because once I'm 18, my responsibilities are there. They're presented to me on a fucking platter that I can't turn down.
Yeah.
I can't say, no, I don't want them responsibilities, not yet. I have to have them, because I'm 18. I'm an adult. In 19 days, I'm a fucking adult. And that really scares me. I had an excuse. I still have an excuse. I'm 17. I'm not an adult yet. I can go hit someone with my car, and I think, I'm a bit reckless, so that's just a joke. What I'm saying is, I don't have to act as mature. Whereas when I'm 18, if I make one mistake, that's me done. I've got no excuses. I'm not, I've got more than the mental capability to know what I'm doing at that point. I have no excuses to keep me from accepting the blame for anything, for any action, which is crazy. And it's not that worries me. I just think growing up is a concept that scares everybody. I think it really does. But the difference between me and a lot of people is I will accept that I haven't got privileges like I used to.
Yeah.
What I don't agree with is when people have kids and they do stupid shit like drink in front of their kids. That doesn't sit right with me. I also don't like when people do drugs in front of their kids. That also doesn't sit right with me. I don't like when people force their kids to do shit with them that's immature. And I just think when you are a parent, whether your kid was an accident or not, I think whether your kid was an accident or not, if you're a parent, every privilege, or most of them, for that fact, are chucked out the window. I think the only people that really get, I think the only people that get an exclusion are, possibly, or not possibly, but like rape victims, people like that. But if you had a kid accidentally or planned, you say goodbye to most of your privileges. You knew the risks. You got a kid now. Fucking, act mature and an adult and deal with it.
Yeah.
You can obviously say what you want on that.
Well, I think it's just important that well, I think for us as well, this is soon going to be ours as well. We need to make sure that we bring up our kids like in a safe area in a way, because obviously we don't want them to go out into the wrong place and then get just be placed in a in a bad area, and then the kids maybe getting affected by it, and then you can't really do anything about it. So I think parenthood is a really scary era. I think if you're gonna have kids, you have to be prepared for it.
And you've got to be scared. You must be scared.
Yeah,
and,
you must be petrified.
As an adult, knowing that anything could happen to your kid, especially an adult with anxiety, is a fucking bad combination.
Yeah,
that must feel fucking horrible. My dad has it, and you fucking hell, can you tell that he has it? I'm 17, and he still has to know where I am, otherwise he worries. I can't imagine how that must feel. But as an adult, I might get the same, and I'm not prepared at all. I really don't want to have a kid until I'm at least 30, and that's at least. I really don't want one yet, because it's scary. Because I know, as an adult, I'm going to do the appropriate thing, and I'm going to throw every one of my privileges away to look after that kid. Because again, it's the decent thing to do, it's the good thing to do, and that's my kid. I'm going to want to look after him and protect him. And that doesn't necessarily mean being strict, because I see a lot of things nowadays where it's like, if someone's a rapist or something, their parents get the blame. That's really, really fucked up, because people are like, oh, how can you bring your kid up like that? But you shouldn't have to sit your kid down and tell them not to rape anybody. Do you know what I mean? It's not a conversation that you should ever have. It's just common courtesy, common fucking decency. It's it's common sense. My parents haven't ever sat me down and said don't kill someone. I just haven't done it because it's it's common sense.
Yeah,
you don't do it. And again, parents get blame and credit when they shouldn't. I see kids walking old people to their homes on Facebook, and someone will go mad respect or credit to the parents. Why though? Because 8 times out of 10, the parents might even have never told the kid to do that. The kids might have done it because they're just born a nice person, whereas the parents get credit for literally sitting there and doing nothing.
Yeah.
I think you're born the way you are. If you're a bad person, you're born it. I think the environment that you live in can affect it. Yeah. But I think if you're a bad person, you can't do anything to change it. I think that's how you're born. That's my opinion on it, and it always will be. It always has been, always will be. I just don't see how the environment of someone's house can make someone a bad person just like that.
Yeah.
I think you would have had to have been born with that mental kind of state, and then I think all it takes is the wrong trigger to make it click, go off.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. I think there's no excuses. I don't think the parents should ever get blame or credit. Your kid is a separate person to you.
Yeah.
They get the credit for making themselves a good person, not you guys.
Mm.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's confusing, I would say.
Anyway, is there anything you want to say before we wrap up? Because I've seen it 73 minutes. We've been over for a long time.
Yeah, no, I think I've said everything I've wanted to.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well,
thanks for having me on, I guess.
It's all right, man. Well, thank you for coming on. This has been
cool.
Martin Hallis. Make sure you go check him out on the gram.
Yeah,
I'll leave his Insta in the description.
Good old Grammy. Yeah.
Hopefully you've picked up a lot from this episode, because there has been a lot. This has probably been the deepest episode there's been.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I bet I was like your next one's gonna be really serious, and I'm gonna be on it. So,
honestly,
I was guessing it would be. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, because
you actually knew this one would be serious.
Yeah, I generally thought it would be, because if it was only me and you, then I definitely know it would have been something. We would definitely have just spill our opinions on it and just let everyone else know what we think about what's going on. So
it's always more mature with 2 people.
Yeah,
a party. So, yeah. 3's a crowd. 3's a party. 4's worse.
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming on. I'll leave
no problem,
Marty's description or Insta in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you, Martin.
Yeah, cheers for listening.
Bye.
In a bit.